How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Good morning, everywhere. Good afternoon. What the hell am I talking about? Good morning. If Tuesdays are terrific Terry Tuesdays, well, hell, Thursdays have got to be terrific Trent Thursdays.
That's right.
I mean, it's only fair. I can't be like a dad that favors one child over the other.
Yeah, but you still like Terry better than me anyway.
No, that's not possible, man. I like you guys exactly the same. Like I said, you only joke with the ones you love, and I never joke with Terry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for a little bit of delay. I was telling Charles before we get started, we run all that data, and I have to put it in Excel, then copy and paste it into Google Sheets. And I had got all of it done. I said, yeah, great. We can do it today with the scratches and get some accurate data, not worry about trying to take horses out and project. And then I didn't save the right sheet and had to do it all over again, Charles. How stupid is that?
Well, it happens. Like I said, it is what it is.
Is what it is. Well, last night we had a really fun conversation with jockey William Anton Georgie on our show. If you didn't check that out last night, hey, man, make sure you get it out. Really nice guy out there at Golden Gate Fields. It was the only person, Charles, that Terry couldn't ask to come to Golden Gate.
Isn't that great?
He's already there. The young man's having a fantastic career. Really nice bounce back at 2022. And as I mentioned, 6 out of the last 7 years, either in the top 100 in winnings or in money earnings. Yep. So that's a good place to be considering how many jockeys are out there, right?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to do Belmont Park today. Really, there is no horse center tonight, so I don't have to talk a little bit about that. Race number 1 at Belmont Park is going to be 5 furlongs on the dirt, maiden special weight, $75,000. They haven't run so many yet at 5 furlongs on the turf. So far, they've run 3 races. I'd say Tactical Speed's probably been the best. 1 of the 3 went wire to wire. All of the wins so far in the 3 races, Charles, came from posts 4, 5, 6, or 7. We don't have any simulations here because a bunch of first-time starters. No need to do a pace setup either because, of course, none of the horses, a lot of them haven't run before. So the only thing we can do now, Charles, is what we try to do best around here, and that's make picks. So tell us who to fade.
Well, who to fade? Come on. Hey, okay, but you know what? I like the 1 here. The 1, not the 1. Well, the 1A is nice too, but if there was going to be a late scratch or anything like that, I would take the 1. This horse was well bet last time. You got Rosario and Clement teaming up together. That's a great combo. Clement gets 18% when he puts him out the second time after they start. So nice, solid chance here. With the 6 horse is my second choice. Now, this horse is bred for turf. Solid works. Maker gets 11% with first timers. And then another Maker's horse, the 7 is my third choice. Now, this one's bred more for speed. Maker gets 11% when he puts him first time on turf. Mm-hmm. And it's got some solid work. So you got some nice first-time starters there. The 9 horse, another one bred for speed. Weaver gets 12% with his first-timer. Solid works. But overall, I really do believe that this race is pretty wide open. If the 1 doesn't win it, who really knows who will win it?
I'm going to start with the 7 horse. What do you mean if you don't? I think a 7 will win it because here you have a first-time starter, solid series of workouts. You mentioned Michael Maker winning at 11%, which is not that all high. To be honest with you, it's kind of a little dull to me. But puts IRAD on. When IRAD rides for Michael Maker, they win at 31%. So I got a feeling Michael only calls IRAD when he feels he has a winner. Number 6, Run for Your Honey. One of the better turf pedigree numbers in this field and has some decent works as well. I'm going to go with the 1A, Grab the Glory. I think it's the better perhaps of the 2 entries, but a lot of the reasoning here is you get 2 for 1, right? It's a great deal. It's like going to Kmart back in the day when the blue light was swirling around. And then number 2, She's a Bernardini. We just had Dylan Davis on the show, so we're hoping he has a fantastic today. The trainer and the owner of the Engelhardt family is the same, but what caught my eye, Charles, is this one was bred by a Godolphin. If you know anything about horse racing, you know, Charles, the Godolphin brand is a pretty solid brand in terms of breeding.
Well, yeah, and they really put their money into the breeding stock big time. So, yeah, They usually produce a lot of good
Why
things.
would I talk you off of his best bet, man? I'm always trying to talk people out of what Charles does. But that's what I do. I joke with Charles. That's how we operate around here. You got a best bet today, Charles, too? That I can't talk you.
My best bet won yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, it did indeed. All right. So race number 2. I think we have a little bit of time to set this one up, Charles.
Yeah,
what do you
we
think?
do. Yeah.
All right. In the second spot today at Belmont, they're going to travel 7 furlongs, optional claiming 62.5. Non-winners of 2. The purse is a hefty $100,000. So it's a nice race. Good stakes type payouts there. 7 furlongs does favor early speed. 28% of the time, the horses do go wire to wire. So far, the rail's been a bummer. So maybe Miss Greer, probably wishes it was outside a little bit. 2, 3 play under par. So you can see the inside struggles a little bit. 4 through 7, you do get a check mark, a plus, and then 8 and out, a little bit under par. Looks like you want middle speed in race number 2. Charles, Good Sam is middle speed in there, that 3 horse. 60% chance to get on the lead according to our simulations.
Yeah, I mean, I personally believe this horse will be out in front winging it. But the one might push this horse along at 32% chance. But I think they're going to all have to catch the 3 horse in this race. When it comes to simulation odds, you got the 1, you got 3-1, and you got morning line of 6-1. That's a nice little overlay.
Mm-hmm.
The 2, even money, 8-1 morning line. And that's it when it comes to simulation odds.
Strongest C-zone sitting out here on that 6, Midnight Stroll, much about doubling up everybody else. So Midnight Stroll could get the best trip of everybody. And C-zone just measures the probability that the horse will get a trip based upon the pace of this race that mirrors its winning efforts. In race number 2, we do have our pace worksheet here. The 6 horse does rank out as the lone PC, so has a little bit of versatility there. The 1 horse is an E-type, means it wants to go wire to wire. The EP, the 3, can go wire to wire, sit off the pace. The 2 P horses there, the 2 and the 5, they're pressure horses, means they'd rather be co-pilots than pilots or sitting in coach. Of course, the C belongs to the closers. We don't have a true closer in this race. Early speed does belong to the 3. That 1 horse that wants to be up on the lead by itself could find itself a bit discouraged. Charles, so they're coming down the stretch. It looks like, in my opinion, has the best late pace. A little bit better than the 1 and 2. So the 3, 5, and 6, they'll be closing the hardest, it looks like. And then the 3 horse grades out much better than everybody else. Well, not much better, but 4 points. But overall, a pretty tight race. Quickly before they head into the gates for race number 1, Charles, who do you got?
Okay, I like 3. I think he is the horse to beat in this race. He drops in class. He's undefeated. They add Lasix today, and you got Irad and Brown combo. The 6 horse is my second choice. This horse drops in class. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 29% with that angle. Totally fits with this group. The 1 horse is my third choice. Does have some speed. Cuts back today. Danny Garrigan gets 30% at 90-plus days rest. So that's an excellent angle. Mm-hmm. And then the 2 horse is my final pick here, my long shot. Ran second last time, cuts back in distance. Davis is back on, and that's it.
So you got a pick 4, 3, 7, all, and then a $1 pick 3, 3, 6, 7, 1, 4. I'm going to also start with the 3 horse in here. This one is likely your pace setter, but doesn't need to be as an EP horse. Do like horses that are forwardly placed, catching first-time Lasix is what you're going to see with Good Sam today. Also graded out as the top EP LP horse. Midnight Stroll coming in from a grade 3. Last race was better than it looks with the 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers on the rise. Usually gets better in the second start after a layoff. Number 2, Honey Money. First off the claim, again with Dylan Davis on. Bullet workout on June the 4th. So the horse looks like it's going to be prepared, because when you look through all the published works, it was the only one out of probably about 20. So maybe the horse has found a new gear. And then Missy Greer, the 1 horse, decent first up record with some good works prepping for the first race since December the 30th, although that rail is a little bit of a bummer, despite the strong early pace C-zone and sim odds combination. Race 1, Charles, it looks like they're loading now. So
they're
let's
starting to load, yeah.
Let's go back to, our picks. There's really nothing that we can talk about in regards to the early speed or any of that kind of stuff. Right now, the bettors do have the entry as the 4 to 5 favorite. I think that's a reflection of getting 2 horses for 1, not necessarily having the best horse. Next up on the board is the 6 horse at 7-2. And then the 5 horse is, the 7 horse is 6-1. And then the 5 horse is 9-1. Everybody else in double digits there, Charles. So I'm kind of hoping the 7 comes out here and wins this one at 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to play a pick 5, I would just hit the ball button here. I really think this is wide open race. I mean, yeah, the favorite probably looks the best to me, but it's not like a sure thing or anything like that.
Never is with these maiden races. On the turf, bunch of first-time starters. You don't know what some of these horses are going to bring. Some of the trainers could be sandbagging, right? They might have something really nice when they're doing the licks, as you said, or the unpublished works. And then, hey, my horse is going to go off at 10-1. It's got a good shot to win. Go put a couple hundy on this guy.
Christopher Clement did scratch his other horse in this race, and so that's the one. He has only now the 1. So what's that tell you?
The 1 and the 1A?
He has the 1. The 1A is Rice.
Oh, yes.
But Clement had another horse, the 4, that scratched in this race.
Yeah, so you got to think he likes that one better. That's the Terry angle, right?
Yeah.
So they got started, and it's a pretty good start. Only the 6 horse didn't really keep pace with the folks that got out and hustling. Does look like right now the 8 horse, one of the...
Oh, the 1 had a check really bad.
So the 8 horse got off to a pretty good lead there. The 9 horse is in the mix as well. The 5 horse, it looks like that 8 horse, Charles, might be one to track down. You did mention this is probably an all race in your opinion, right? So let's see how they're coming down the turn right now. They went through the opening quarter, I think, in a pedestrian 23-6. Going to be tough to run that one down if he has any kind of stamina. Although the 9 horses just said, you know what? I think I want to take charge of this race now. Pulled up alongside. The 5 horse is trying to get into the mix, but he's kind of struggling a little bit late. The 7 horse, the 1 horse, they're trying to make some move, but this race belongs probably to the 9, Charles, although the 1 horse on the rail is really trying to make up a lot of ground. He did gobble up a lot of ground late. Went 9-1-5, 9-1-5. So if you took Charles's 4 horses and boxed them together, you would have got a nice trifecta, exacta there.
Now, that 1 had a check real bad. I mean, the jockey stood straight up on this horse. So that says a lot about that horse.
That's one you circle, but it's also horse racing, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not no one's really fault. It's just everybody compacted and the horse was going up too much on the rails. So
it's like golf. You can hit a 300-yard drive right down the middle, but if you miss a 3-foot putt, they count the same.
Yeah,
which is very frustrating. All right. So speaking of which, the U.S. Open is going on today. Hopefully, if you put some money on some players or you did some fantasy stuff, it works out well for you. Race number 3 is 1 mile and a 16th on the inner turf, claiming 30,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse is 41 grand on the inner turf. Mr. Charles, the profile of an inner turf winner, 12 races so far, so not a big data set. Stalkers have done well so far. Looked like 2 out of the 12 went wire to wire. The rail and 4 through 7 have done the best. 2 and 3, 8 and out, a little bit under par, but none of them are deal makers or deal breakers, Charles. So you want some stalkers in here in race number 3, probably looking for horses that aren't necessarily on the lead, but close to the lead. And there's plenty of them that could try to get to the front, according to our simulator.
Yeah, there's plenty that'll try. But the 7 has a 30% chance of having that lead. I think he will get the lead. You do have a couple others that want to pretend like they want the lead, but I think they're more or less going to be there just to keep him in check, which would be the 1 horse, possibly the 8 and 9. And when it comes to simulation odds, we have the 7 horse basically at 1 to 5, basically.
Yeah, about 2 to 5, 1 to 5 in that range.
Yeah, and in 2 to 1 odds, that would be nice if we could get 2 to 1 on that. That's it.
That's it for that. And also strong C zone for the 6 horse here. It's the darkest of them all. So maybe one that could get a very good trip. Our pace sheet tells us that the 6 horse is out there by himself as a lone E. So again, wants to pilot. The 1, 2, 8, and 9, they prefer to co-pilot. So they'll probably let the 6 do that work if that's the work he wants to do. 3, 4, 5, and 7, they typically want to close when they get the W's. The 6 horse does have an 8-point early speed advantage. Lone E, Everybody's looking for that lone speed. So Spetro might be able to get to the front, run some decent fractions, maybe tough to chase down, but he is the only one with a red late pace score. So he's going to have to find a little bit more late enthusiasm. Ghostly Prince, well, a whole bunch of them, Charles, kind of grading out pretty well on the run home. But the Ghostly Prince does get the top score there. Good rapport. And Uragano, they're not too far behind. Early speed, late speed numbers belong to Ghostly Prince. That 6 horse does move up into 4th place there, not all that far off from the top. So if the 6 can get a decent pace on the lead, Charles, he might be able to steal this one wire to wire. You have him. I don't. I'm probably going to regret that when the race is over.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see him get an easy lead. So there you have it. I think the 7's in the perfect position. Once again, this horse is going to be probably either on the lead or in the catbird seat. So whatever how it turns out for him, I think he could do whatever. He ran even last time out. He drops in class today. They add the blinkers today. Second start after a layoff. Mont gets 20% with that angle. So I think it's a go for this horse. The 6 horse, as we talked about, has some speed. Second start after a layoff. The trainer gets 17% with that angle. Mm-hmm. And then the 8 horse is my third choice. He won last time out. Well bet last time. Moves up. So he fits with this group. And then the 2 horse is my final choice here. A little price there. Drops in class. Third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 23% with that angle. It's got some tactical speed, more or less, coming out the end. But I still think it's the 7's races to lose.
And you feel like this is your best bet of the day. So don't let me talk you out of it, Barry. But I wouldn't do it. The JT Brew, our in-house turf expert today, says his play of the day is at Ellis Park. Race number 6, the 2 horse Lady Irene. Win, place, and show try box with 2, 4, 5, and 10. Try wheel 2, 5, 2, 5. All pick 3, 2, 5, 9. All Belmont Park. Race 3. Hey, the one we're talking about right now. Number 9, Provision. And then in race number 7, the 9 horse Into the Sunshine. It's a little bit under there. How confident, Uncle Charles, are you in your 7 horse? This is about the biggest bet I've ever seen him make. So I don't know what that means.
Well, I put 25% of my budget on 1 horse. And if you really look at it, I played pick 4 that's all keyed to that horse, and I played a pick 3 that is keyed to that horse. So probably well over a half of my budget, almost 3/4, is all on that horse.
Well, I hope for you. You did have that pick 4, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3 all. I did a pick 4 back there too. I went 2, 3, 6, 5, 7, 1, 2, 2, 8, 11. I didn't mention that as we went to race number 1. In the 5th race, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with someone other than the 7 horse on top, Charles. I'm going to go with the 5 horse. Mama banned me. That happened in my house when I was a little kid. I'm going to take a good shot. I'm going to take a shot here with our good friend Trevor McCarthy. It did win the maiden claiming race last time. I'm not a big fan of maiden claiming risers. However, if they did run the top last race speed figure, according to Barry Meadows in his book, The Skeptical Handicapper, that's the one time you can take maiden risers is when they do run that top last race speed figure. The horse ran better fractions last out as well, making its 3rd start after a layoff. I think it's going to put that 7 to the test, Charles. Paratus. It's going to drop in class after doing much better through the early half mile of last. 50-50 that this one is up or down in the 2nd start after layoff. One time it really did a nice jump up, and the other time it took a little step back. So I'm, on those 50-50 flip of a coins, I'm hoping for Charles and for Barry, it lands on heads. Good rapport. The 8 horse got the MCL, maiden claiming win. First up on the Belmont Park. First mile in the 16th inner turf race. Not sure, though. He'll be close to the pace. Last time, a horse was like 1.5 lengths off the lead, but the pace was really kind of slow. Then was able to close home. I don't know that it'll be able to stick that close to this group today. That might put it too far away to take advantage of the late legs. And then the Ghostly Prince, the 1 horse, some of the better late pace numbers in the field. You look at the speed numbers, incrementally getting better race after race after race, 4 in a row, and it's got 3 maintenance workouts between races. So every reason to believe that'll continue to climb the ladder. Trifecta, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for me. So I do wish both Charles and Barry good luck with that 7 horse today. Hope it comes home the winner, or at least a dead heat with my 5 horse. How about that? That way I can get the trifecta twice.
No, dead heat would kill the price.
Yeah, probably would. Race 4 is a 6.5 furlong, claiming 40 grand, purse is 70. Nice money at stakes today. In here, this is for 4-year-olds and up, open company, no conditions, so a pretty solid race. 6.5 furlongs, they've done it 9 times so far in Belmont, New York. Early speed has done great. 3 of the 9 went wire to wire. Unfortunately, none of them have come from the rail yet. 2 and 3 discounted as well. 4 through 7, yeah, that's where all the money's been made because that gets a big bonus. So far, 8 and out hasn't won, Charles. So it looks like you want to be 4 through 7. You want to have some speed. Do we find any in there that meet that criteria? Maybe the 5 horse.
Yeah, maybe. But that 1 horse, 52% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. And then you have the 2 that's going to probably push them along there at 21%. The 5 might get interesting. It depends on how the other 2 break, but I think it's going to be one of those other 2 that's going to have the lead at the quarter pole. When it comes to the simulation odds, we have the 2 just slightly over even money. You got 2.5 to 1 on morning line, and you got that 5 even money, 6 to 1 morning line. There's an overlay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's it when it comes to overlays and odds.
This 1 horse does it interesting to me. I know the rail sucked, has 2 and 3, but you got a strong C-zone, very strong likelihood to get on the lead. Simulation odds are a little bit testy, so that does worry me a little bit. The 1 horse doesn't necessarily need to be on the lead. It is a PC type, so it can win from pretty much anywhere on the track. That's a plus. The 8 horse is your co-pilot pilot type, another one that doesn't need the lead. Maybe it's going to get out to the front. As far as recency is concerned, it does look like it's going to be pretty competitive between the 1, 2, 3, and 8 as to who will take charge early on. They're all scoring about the same, though. Only a 10-point difference from top to bottom. Could be very competitive up front. If so, the 5 horse, Emerald Forest, does have the most late legs, be licking its chops if all the others are going too fast and it's sitting behind that wall of speed. It also grades out as the top horse in terms of the early speed, late speed combination. Probably a pretty good place to be if you are a versatile PC type. Charles, you think the 5 horse is not even going to finish in the money?
No. I like the 1 here. I think the 1 will most likely be on the lead. 1 last time out, 2nd start after a layoff. Rice gets 18% with that angle. So I think there's a lot of things good about that horse for this race. The 4 drops in class. This one is got that tactical speed more on the closing side. This horse has been so hot at the claim box for the past year. 7 times it's been claimed. IRAD jumps on this time. And then the 8 horse is my 3rd choice. Another one that has that sneaky speed. I think if a couple of things happen and he could take the lead at one point or anything like that, drops in class, trainer gets 23%, 46 plus days of rest. And then the 2 horse is my final pick. Drops in class, has some of that tactical speed to sit 2nd or so. Pratt is back on, which is a plus for that horse, but I still think they're going to have to catch that 1.
So Newton says, who should I bet on? I'm out to win big. Right. So who should I bet on, says Newton. I'm out to win big. What race and what is this location? This is Belmont Park. It is in New York. And we do put suggested bets here, you see. And then Charles mentioned he's got a 50-cent trifecta box for this race. We have them for every race. A little bit later on, I'll take all of this and post it over at horseracingtoday.net so you can see the notes. You can also see the suggested wagers. In that last race, Charles said that the 7 horse is his bet of the day. I don't really ever do bet of days. I don't know why. I just, a lot of times, though, if I do single a horse, I do find that they run well. But I've never been one just kind of focus on one horse. Kind of learned that in my stock market days. You know, sometimes the ones that you think are going to be the best, they're the ones that don't work out. And the ones you're kind of 50-50 on, those work out the best. So I try to spread my $100 because we have a $100 budget here that we work throughout the entirety of the race card. And that's why we put suggested races on the bottom. So if you're looking for 1 horse, I would probably look at Charles's 7 in race number 3. If you're looking just to kind of spread your money around and hope to hit something that pays for more than what you've put in, get a positive ROI, maybe take a look at all of our picks throughout the course.
And like my strategy is usually different than that on no matter what given day. My whole thing is I got to find one horse that I trust a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't find that, then it's not a good day. If you find that, then I think you key around it. Pick threes, pick fours, pick fives. You put win bets. You do exactas with the horse, trifectas with the horse. You got to key in on one. If you don't have one horse for sure that you trust, it's one of those wide open days. Maybe you should just sit back and watch them, or bet very, very small.
Well, I think of the wide open days. That's where I want to spread my money around, because wide open days is where you can end up with some big ones. You say eating some ham and stuffing. Is that good in England? I'm not sure. Compared to fish and chips, in my view, that might be a step up. But hey, speaking of which, next week, maybe starting Sunday night, but next week, Tom and I, who do Foreign Fridays, we won't do Foreign Fridays tomorrow, but all next week it is the Royal Ascot meet. It's a fantastic meet. We did really well there last year, Tom and I. We'll do every day of the Royal Ascot. So we're either going to do it the night before or the morning of. We haven't made up our mind totally on that yet. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so, Newton. Everybody else, if you want to take advantage of what Tom and I, or at least hear what we have to say. And I know Tom does a ton of watching videos from England, and he'll have a lot of insights that you won't really find anywhere else, in my opinion. I like the one horse here too. I'm going to try to break that rail curse, Charles. Potential pace setter with the top C-zone score. I'm going to go with the 2-horse Happy Farm as the second choice. Drops in class. Has a ton of back class too, Charles, if you look through the past performances. The last race was better than the finish, as it had better times at 7 furlongs compared to the previous time it ran the same distance. But the problem for me with the 2-horse is he's 9 years old, Charles. He's run 8 or 9 times without a break. It looks like he might be tiring a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on the shelf after this one. Number 5, the Emerald Forest does have the top early speed, late speed combination and is your simulation favorite. Comes in from Oaklawn Park, so maybe that scared Charles off a little bit. But if you look at the Belmont Park works, they're getting better and better and better leading up to this race. So if that trend continues, might be able to take that sim favorite status right to the winner's circle. Strong C-zone and early paced combination there as well. In the feet, the 4, it's a tough call for me over the 3-horse, 24 Amamba. But Irad rides here, and this one had better early pace numbers last out. You got to take Irad if it's a 50-50 choice. Trifecta 1-2. I think those are the 2 best horses, with the 1-2-5, with the 1-2-3-4-5, and I might regret playing against that early, that inside 3 anti-bias.
Well, I mean, eventually you got to break that, right?
Yeah, eventually, right? Let's see. We got Christopher D'Souza, race 4. He wants the 1 and the 7 exact the box. Thanks, Chris, for your thoughts. If anybody else has any ideas or picks, kindly throw them up there on the comment section. We appreciate it. The more comments we get, the happier the Google algorithm is. So go ahead and throw those comments out. Even if you just type hi 1,000 times, I don't think it reads them. In race 2, this number 3 is not worth 1 to 5. 3-year-old against older. I get it. He beat a couple of 6, 7 horse fields as a 2-year-old. Number 6 won a grade 3 as a 3-year-old. Give me 3 to 1 on that one. So he likes the 6 and not the 3 in race number 2. We both like the 6 horse in there too, right?
Yeah. Well, I put on my pick 3. I put the 3-6, but I think the 3 is the one to beat. He might be, maybe not, 1 to 5. I don't think he's worth 1 to 5, but
I'm going to be of the argument no horse is worth 1 to 5.
I was about ready to say, really, there might be a couple out there that are worth it, but I would never, ever place a bet on a 1 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, to me, and the unfortunate thing is a lot of times when, right now, we could start our pick 4s without the 3, but we already put our tickets in. I think you have to make a choice when you're doing those vertical tickets. I think more often than not, you're probably better off tossing out the 2 to 5 and maybe picking the 2 or 3 that you like behind it. Because when the times that you do beat it, so many people are singled up on that one. That's when you're going to get those really fat payouts. Right? In the old days, you used to have to sign for signers.
Right.
Charles didn't really have to do that very often.
In
the 5th race, they're going to run 7 furlongs on the turf. Maiden claiming $40,000. The purse is $47,000. The 7 furlong turf affairs does favor Tactical Speed, although you probably don't want to be on the lead, as only 6% have gone wire to wire. There has been a strong inside 3 bias. Everybody else 4 and out. They've underperformed, Charles. So Tactical Speed on the inside for race number 5 is the way to go. There's plenty of Tactical Speed because all of the real fast ones are on the outside.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, I think this is an open race, but you got the 11 with 36% and the 12 with 34%. It's really who breaks the gate the best between those two. You possibly got the 2 that might do something, try to get to the lead, but I really think those 2 outside horses are really going to gun for it and try to get out there. When it comes to simulation odds, let me see what we got here. We have the 1 horse, which is just slightly where we're at.
Yeah, about between 6 and 7 to 1.
Yeah, 6-1, and you 10 to 1 morning line, and you got the 11 horse about 4 to 5, right in there, 3 to 5, and he's 3 to 1 and morning line.
Looks like Golden Purchase grades out as the one that's most likely to get a trip that best mirrors some of its. It hasn't won yet, but that 50 to 1 shot maybe sneaks up in there for 3rd or 4th. So maybe one to think about putting in the back of your trifectas or superfectas. Race 5, race shape. Yeah, see, look, you got a bunch of first-time starters over here, the 4, the 5, the 8, the 13. Unsure what they're going to bring to the table. The 6, the 9, that one with the strong C zone, and the 12, they get the NC designation, meaning so far in their races have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish wire. So they're going to have to do something today that they haven't done so far. Got this 11 horse over here all by itself, Charles. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. But
if that guy can be close to the pace, look out, my man.
They're gonna go after him.
They probably will. It looks like the 12 horse will really put the screws to him early on, but going to have to find some stamina in the second half of the race. That's a major fall off there. Maybe that was horse more of a sprinter. Late speed, the 11 horse. Well, it's going to ride second. Maybe lets the 12 go to the lead, and then has some of the most late pace with the 7 and the 1. 2 horses that have finished within 5 lengths of the leader. Early speed, late speed. Looks like you got the 11 and the 7, and then a whole bunch of folks way behind. Would not be shocked at all if the 7 or 11 ended up in the winner's circle, Charles.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised with anybody winning this race. I have the 2. I'm going for a little bit of a price here. Rail gets 18%, does have some speed, can take the lead if he has to, but I think he's going to be sitting in the catbird seat. Ran 3rd last time. You got a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. So that's why I lean towards that horse. But there's plenty others here that you can make an argument for. The 8, bred for the turf. You got Irad and Brown, solid works, looks good, ready to go. The 5, this is another one that's totally bred for the turf. Maker gets 18% overall, solid works in this horse. And then the 11, most likely your leader, but you know what? From out that outside post, who knows? Maybe the.
But I don't think he needs the lead though, Charles. So
I don't. Well, we'll see. They add the blinkers today. He drops in class. Trainer gets 16% with 46 plus days of rest. So we'll see how this all turns out. But yeah, wide open. I did hit the all button on my pick 4. So there you go.
All right. So for me in this spot, Mr. Charles, we're going to look at the 11 horse, that Luna Water, the big overlay right there. Did run the top last race speed figure. That was at Gulfstream Park on the all-weather track. You dig through the numbers. This one has some great turf breeding. There you go, Charles, just for you. I just like I don't pay attention to breeding, but I'm going to throw it out there. So if it wins on the pedigree, I could say, see, I told you so. Yeah. Just have some great works getting prepped on the Belmont Park grass. I think it's going to take to its surface today well. Number 8, Moment of Insight, is the Irad, Chad Brown combination, top at the New York circuit there. Together, they hit at 39%. This one has decent works, nothing like the 11. Good pedigree, but again, not close to the 11. Billy Goat's got issues. Well, Billy's got issues. This should really be Charles got issues. I think that would be a better name for that horse. This one ran better pace numbers across the board last time out. like to see when there's improvement, early, middle, late. Got Dylan Davis on here again. We were hoping he's having a great day after being a guest on Horse Center. If you didn't watch that show, make sure you tune in. He doesn't do a whole lot of them, so a great chance to get to know Dylan. And I think his horse will benefit in the second race after a layoff and some additional runway today at the end of the race. Finally, Lawful, the 7-horse. This one should be closing. Consistent performer. And so far, this David Jacobson barn at Belmont Park early in the meet has been hot. Been winning at about 33%, Charles. That's a pretty good number right there. And JT says he forgot to add the 7 to his playlist. Scary Creations, number 4, Bill of Rights. Cost $110,000 to breed to Constitution. Only cost 70. I wonder why. Maybe he's got
7,000. So there's a number of reasons. Just sort of like was it the horse that won the Belmont?
Mage?
When it.
Oh no, not Mage. National Treasure, huh?
Yeah. No, the one that won the Belmont.
Oh yes. I forget the name of the horse.
Well, it had a chip in the ankle. It had a stifle problem. And they bought the horse for 35,000. So when you have those type of problems, if you're going to pay money, depends on where those chips and stifle problems are, how bad they are. You want
stifle problem for somebody like me that doesn't know what you're talking about. What does that mean?
It's in the inner leg of the back part of the leg where the leg hooks up, basically hooks to the hip right in that area. That's a stifle. And that's a very hard one to fix. But there was vets there that said it was a good clean one to fix. So you got to have a vet there to tell you with the scanner how bad that was. And the chip in the ankle, they said it was right where they could go in and out without disturbing anything else, which was another clean thing to do. So sometimes it's worth it to take a little chance, buy a horse cheaper than they really should be bought. But if you have a lot of problems and multiple chips, buyer beware.
All right. Well, I'm going to do 50-cent trifecta here, 2, 8, 11 with the 8, 11 with the 1, 2, 7, 8, and 11. Charles, that's my trifecta in this race. They're kind of race 2. They got about a minute. They're still kind of jumping around a little bit. I think we have time to set up race number 6. And then we'll go ahead and we'll describe what's happening in race number 2 as it happens. Race 6 is going to be 7 furlongs. We did talk about 7 furlongs on the main track. 7 furlongs does belong to horses that typically go towards the front. Early Speed does win 28% of the time. In this allowance, 80,000 non-winners won. The rail has been awful so far. 2, 3 under par. 4 through 7, that's where you find most of your winners. 8 and out again under par. In race number 6, Charles, you're probably going to want some early middle speed. In race number 6, the early speed, the middle one is maybe the 3-horse, maybe the 5.
That's actually considered in. But, yeah, the 5 would be more middle. But the 8, 39% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. That's probably the one to catch to go to that quarter pole at least. The 3 might push him along, a little bit, but the 1 might even push along a little bit. When it comes to simulation odds, the 1 itself is slightly under 2 to 1. You got a little over 2.5 to 1 on the morning line. The 3 itself is 2 to 1. Morning line is 4.5 to 1. And that is it when it comes to simulation odds and overlays.
And this might be a good race if you like the speed, the C zone. So you're going to have some favorites here as you see on the simulator. If you did like a little 4, 7, 9 trifecta box for 50 cents, it would cost you $30. Maybe toss in the 5. If we've seen too many of those come in at a nice price, that would cost you $6. It would be a bet maybe worth making. It's a risk, of course, because you're betting against the favorites, but I've seen them come in before. You got a pretty balanced race here, Charles. None is lead dependent, so we're not looking for anybody to necessarily be on the front, although the 3-horse is likely to be your pace setter. And Angelique, those 2 get to the front. The rest should probably tuck in right behind. The 2 and the 6 maybe way off the pace.
So the 1 would be your left arrow horse.
The 1 would definitely be a left arrow horse. But it's kind of tough, though, because it only came off of 1 race so far, Charles. So
yeah, it's true.
Race the late speed, you got the 2 and the 6. Boy, they stand out as those 2 closers. This whole group does run fast. Those 2 should have an edge. Early speed, late speed combination. The 3, Tuscanova Beauty coming in from Finger Lakes. 6-point advantage over the rest. Looks like there's a pretty good drop off of the 4, 5, 6, and 7. We'll talk about our picks in just a moment because race 2 is about to get cooking, Charles. Let's go back to our picks for race number 2. The 3 horse is 3 to 5, not flight line, but certainly the 6 horse at 7 to 5. The 4 and the 5 are now the 5 horse scratched out of this race too since we went live. It was only the 4 horse was scratched out before we got cracking. So
Wow.
2, 3, and 6. Yeah, selfishly, Charles, I'm hoping that the 2 horse wins this race.
Well, I know you would be that, but I don't know.
Well, no, I'm just saying selfishly. I don't think it necessarily will, but you never know. I mean, that's a heck of an overlay from. This was race 2, right?
Yeah.
No, the 2 horse was 8 to 1, but yeah, I got that one, and they're off. The 3 horse does try to get out to the lead, although the 1's going to make him earn it, Charles. It's going to make him really push to clear Missy Greer right there. Now, the 1 horse says, you know what? Forget that. I'm not letting you get the lead, brother. I'm not going to let you get away with slow fractions. So the 1 horse, Missy Greer, takes to the lead. To the outside, the 3 horse, that 3 to 5, 1 to 2 favorite, Good Sam. But about at the end of the tail there, 6 horse is making a move up. You can get these 4 horses. They're not all that far apart. 3 horse is in a great stalking position. The 1 horse does seem to have a pretty good hold on that horse right now.
Yeah,
they all seem to have pretty good holds, though, right now.
Yeah, 3's tugging big time.
Yeah, the 6 looks like it's making a move, too, though. So the 3 horse just bested the 1. I'm going to guess that 1 horse is probably done. 2 horse, this looks like it's going to come down to the 3 and the 6. The 6 horse has kind of pulled alongside. Jockey's asking a little bit out of the 6 already. Yeah, the 3 horse, a 3 to 5. Kind of drifted out a little bit in front of the 6 there, though.
On purpose.
Yeah, most likely.
That's on purpose.
But he's starting to tire a little bit. He's starting to look around a little bit, Charles. I don't know that the 6 horse is going to be able to take advantage of it, though. He's trying. Yeah, here he comes. Boom, 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 boom. 6 horse, I think, is going to stroll by him at the end here. He indeed does. 3, 6, and then 2.
No,
6, 6, 3, 2. 6, 3, 2. So you're alive on your pick 3, Charles?
Yeah.
I'm alive on the pick 4. Hopefully.
And you're right. That 3 at the end started looking around.
And when they do that, folks, you're almost always screwed, right?
Yep, they're looking around. They're looking for a buddy to race with. That's what their problem is.
And whenever I see a horse do that, Charles, whenever I see him start looking around in the stretch, I know I'm done.
Yeah, because they're going to wait. They're going to wait on the buddy. So.
So I took.
But like you said, if we were at the track and knowing a 1 to 2, you don't single that horse out, especially if it's not your best bet of the day. So
number 1. So let's go back to race number 5. It looks like we have some thoughts here. Race 5, Christopher D'Souza says he likes the 7. Also look out for the 1 in race number 5. Looks like Christopher D'Souza. Me too. Scary Creations give me the 2 Reigning Chick to run them down. Fortunately, didn't get it done right there. What race is that in race number 6, Reigning Chick? Yes, the 2 to run them down. We haven't gone through our picks yet here, but we will right now. Race 6, Christopher D'Souza. Number 4, win 80 on the early pace in here. That's exactly how it's going to look with number 2, Reigning Chick in race 5. Going to mow them down. Wow, Reigning Chick getting a lot of love in race number 5. And Charles has it as his top pick. I have it as my 3rd pick. So hopefully I have it in my trifecta. If Top Chick runs him down, the 8 and 11 run second, I'll be happy as hell with that. No question about it. So we went through the prelims for race number 6, Charles. Now we'll go through our thoughts. So kindly let us know why you copied my picks again. Then try to make it look like you did it by flipping the 9 and the 3. Yeah,
that's what I did because only the top 2 horses I think really count. Anyway, the 1 horse is my top choice. 1 last time out, Well Bet. You got that Irad Todd Pletcher combo. Tough combo to beat, very tough. The 8 is my 2nd choice here. 1 last time out. Does have some speed there, as we will talked about. Well Bet last time. Pratt's aboard, so look out. Between those 2, I think who's going to have lead and who's going to be sitting in the catbird seat. The 9 horse is my 3rd choice. This horse will be definitely closing, and it ran 2nd last time out, but he fits with this group, so I think he's got a shot there. The 3 won his last 2. This is 3rd start after a layoff. Another horse that has some speed. I don't know if it's as good as the 8 and possibly even the 1, but he's going to be right there in the same boat as them.
So I agree. There's 2 horses in here. They ran against each other already, though, Charles. And maybe we have the order backwards because when they did run, Danseur d'Oro, I think, finished behind him. So Angelique won the debut as a 55-cent favorite. The only horse race it's had so far. It's got 3 maintenance works in between. But what happened was in that race, I think they ran 6 furlongs, 6.5 furlongs, and he faded in the stretch a little bit. The 8 almost ran him down. So the extra distance today, if they have a repeat of that race, could benefit Danseur d'Oro. Did get the blowout win in the maiden special weight last time out. Was the first time at Belmont Park. Did put in the same fractions at 7 furlongs as he did 6 furlongs. That was actually the second time because it debuted also at Belmont. Tuscanova Beauty tied for the top last race speed figure at Finger Lakes, Charles. And I'm not a big fan of horses that move up tracks like that. I talk a lot about track droppers. This is a track riser. Horse has won 6 of 8 races on a fast track, which I like. Got a fast track today, but I don't think the track upgrade is a concern today because the horse also ran at Saratoga and fared very well at Saratoga. So I think if I were going to grade the NYRA tracks, I would probably put, obviously, Aqueduct would be number 3 of 3. And then I don't know, would you go Belmont or Saratoga? I'd probably put Saratoga at the top of that list.
I put Saratoga at the top because that's the reason why, and I think it's an excellent reason, is all the owners want to go to Saratoga or Del Mar. So those 2 meets in the summertime are the toughest meets to win because owners will be willing to drop their horses just for a win. And even if the horse gets claimed or whatnot, they're more than willing to give that up.
So that's why I didn't back off the 3 horse because it had fared well at Saratoga. And I did think it was the top of the NYRA circuit, which is one of the best circuits in the country. Clover Street, one's never been out of the money in 4 races on a fast track, Charles. 1 win, 2 seconds, and the 3rd. And the last time out, if you look at the race, it just ran its fastest race ever. So I'm going to do a pick 4, 1, 3, 8. I'm probably going to regret not putting the 9 in there. 1, 2 over the 1, 3 over the 1, 2, 8, and 12. Charles doing a pick 4 as well. 1, 8, 9, and 2, 8, 1, 3, 1, 5, 8. So a couple different ways Charles and I can both come home winners in our late pick 4s. 4 races to go. 7, 8, and 9. 3 races to go. We're doing that funny math again, Charles.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes. First thing to go, according to Jay Marco, is the gray matter. 6 furlongs on the inner turf, optional claiming 62,500. The purse is like a stakes race again here, 100 grand. So at 6 furlongs on the inner turf, Charles, the rail horse, buddy, the rail horse has done enormously well. 13 races, tactical speed. 31% of the horses have gone wire to wire. 2 for 3 play at par level. 4 through 7, a little bit squeezed. 8 and out, play fair. Again, that rail, keep an eye on that rail horse, Charles, because it wins a lot in race number 7. Our speed and odds and C-zone simulations tell us there's plenty of horses that want to try to get to the front, although one might get the lead. Could be tough on the outside with some inner speed,
it's going to be very tough on that 9. And 9's got a 43% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole coming from the outside, but probably most likely will get the lead. But you have a couple of the horses like the 4 and possibly the 2 will try to get that lead from him or be pushing that horse along. The 2 horse, when it comes to simulation odds, even money, and you got 2 to 1 morning line. That ain't too bad. The 4 horse is 8 to 1 or almost 9 to 1. And you got 12 to 1 morning line. Not too bad there. And then the final one, the outside horse, 3 to 1 and 8 to 1 morning line.
Yeah, this combination is a pretty strong one too. Lower sim odds than morning line odds. Strong chance to be on the lead. Decent C-zone. Should be comfortable up there. Although that 6 horse grades out twice as good as any of the other horses from your C-zone standpoint. In the race 7 setup, yeah, Charles, that 9 horse wants to be on the lead. Probably got a good chance to be on the lead. You got the pressure, the EP type. That 3 horse over here, Super Success, could put the kibosh on the 9's hopes out there, especially with all that early speed. In fact, he's got a lot of them on his inside that could make it a difficult task. We talked a little bit about that inside speed, maybe dampening its chances to win. The late speed, if you're a closer, running with scissors, something Charles did a lot as a child.
Yes.
But almost all of them have a very similar late speed. So when I see a late speed set up like this, I'm going to want horses that are middle front, not in the back, because they're not going to have that edge that they might have over horses that tend to fade late. Because all of these have some similar late legs. So middle forward, I think, is where you'll find the winner here. Running with scissors will be middle forward, does have the top early speed, late speed combination. Again, very competitive race, except for maybe the 7, Maxwell Esquire. Everybody within a 10-point range, Charles, though. There are some at the top, I think, that might be better than the rest. And we both think running with scissors, while not a good idea, could be a good bet.
Yes. I'm going to start with the 2. Yeah, the 2 is my top choice. Won the last 2 times. You got a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. You know what? And I think this horse will have enough speed to sit right off the 9 and be in the catbird seat. So be ready to pounce when he has to. Then the 8 horse is my second choice here. You think you got to toss out the last race. And once you toss out that last race, this horse looks very competitive in here. Tactical speed. Weaver gets 17% with 90-plus days. Weaver's an excellent trainer. He always gets them ready to rock and roll. The 9 is my third choice. This one's going to be out winging it, as we just finished talking about. I think the 2 will keep him honest or stay right there. Casey gets 15% with 46-plus days of rest. So the 9's a little fresh, and plus Davis is back on for this horse. So it's going to be down to the wire for that horse, I believe. The 3 horse is my price horse. Third start after a layoff. You do have to toss out that last race. And then when you see after that, does belong here, and it's got some tactical speed.
I'm going to start with the 2 horse 2, running with scissors. Again, not a good idea in real life practice, but maybe a good idea to bet this guy. Irad and David Jacobson, they've run 11 races together. Charles, they won 7 of them. So I think Mr. Jacobson says, hey, Irad, I got a winner for you. And Irad says, I think you're right. Major early race improvement in the last race. Ran 6 furlongs on the inner turf once at Belmont Park. Just absolutely demolished the field in that race. Big package. I think you cannot overlook a rail, Charles, that's winning at 39%. That's too big of an in-race advantage, too big of a track bias advantage. I don't care what that horse looks like on paper. It would be nuts to overlook a 40% angle. And it's done good on the Belmont Park turf, too. 9 out, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So likes the distance, likes the surface, gets a huge advantage. Number 9, Into the Sunrise, been off since April the 13th. It's dropping in class, but some really fast works getting prepped. Again, outside, strong combination, early speed, C-zone, and overlay. It's going to have to clear, though. Number 8, Outlaw Kid, another one that's coming off a little bit of a break. Charles, off since December the 30th. So hasn't run yet in 2023. It's its debut. Only had one other race where it was on the sidelines for a little bit. Came back to win. Does have a May 27th work at Saratoga that says, I'm ready. For me, trifecta, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9. Probably should throw the 6 in there on the other end, along with Christopher D'Souza, but I don't have him in there. If you have a little bit of budget, maybe put that 6 in the back in there. See, number 7, he says he likes the 6-4 Exacta box. We're going to hear from Terry A. Running with scissors, I agree with both, is my best bet of the day at Belmont. There you go. Another one, Barry, that you might want to look at is running with scissors. Race 7 is the best bet of the day for the 6 win, place, and show. So got a lot of competing win bets there in race number 7. In race 8, 2 to go, Charles, and we'll be done with our week. We have a 1 mile optional claiming $80,000 race at a mile. First time today, we're going to see that distance. Early speed does do well, 20%, 2 out of 10, taking the trip front to finish on the lead. The rail has been the best again. 2-3 gets a bonus as well. So those inside 3 horses have an edge over 4 and out, all of which perform under par. Mr. Charles, Early inside speed in race number 8 is where you might find the winner. And boy, the two that are going to be on the inside have a lot of it.
Yeah, but you got to look out for that 5 horse there.
And the 7. I mean, everybody really but the 1 is going to be the one.
32% chance for the 5 to but you know, the 5's been off for a while, so let's see how that really works out. So I think the 3 itself is probably the leader at the quarter pole, and you got the 2 that's going to challenge, and possibly even the outside horse, the 7. So yeah, a lot of speed in here that all want that lead.
Plenty gas for sure.
Yeah, plenty. You got simulation odds here. You got that 3, just slightly under even money. You got 3-1, so morning line, and then that's it. Yeah.
Top C zone going to Uncle Moonlight, 80 points. Boy, that's way better than everybody else. That should be the one that's the most comfortable, according to previous races and the way this race looks like it might set up with the early pace. In that race number 8, you don't have any that want to be on the lead. The 2 horse, Kinetic Sky, that one likes to be a co-pilot. So I'm going to be surprised if he lets the 3 of their 7 or somebody else go ahead and take charge early on. Might feel more comfortable running 2nd or 3rd, maybe Shoot or Shoot, Stage Raider, Uncle Moonlight, any of those. Wouldn't be shocked to see them take the initiative early on. Stage Raider, that 3 horse, does have some good late speed in there, Charles. 94, 92, 91. Again, pretty much across the board except for Kinetic Sky. Everybody's got a chance to put a little bit of juice in their life at the end of the race. That 3 horse, Stage Raider, woo, 6-point advantage. Everybody else is essentially a tie, Mr. Charles. I think I'm going to do it again, Charles. I'm going to do it again, Charles. You ready for me to do it again?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to switch to 3 and the 1 right here, Charles, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the 3 on top.
So being 4 for 4 wrong, so you're going to go for 5. Okay, 5 in a row.
You know what? 1 for the thumb, my man.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I'm going to do it. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Eventually, you will be right. Eventually, at one point.
Well, you figure I gotta, it's the gambler's fallacy, right? I'm due, man. I'm due. So I'm gonna see if I can do it today and bring it home. So I'm gonna change it to 3-1 in race number 8. So anytime I make a change, folks, you know what that means? It means head over to your mortgage broker, take a maximum equity, and just throw it all on. Of course, I'm kidding.
Will not win. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. But the 1 will, because whatever one I change out tends to be your winner. But go fire away.
Yeah, that's why I'm sticking with my 1.
I just made it the best bet of the day.
Actually, I think you probably did. And I thought it was pretty strong to begin with. This horse won last time out. Rice gets 26%. You got Ortiz Rice combo. Really? You just want to switch off of that? All right.
I just did, man, with confidence. Confidence.
All right. I see.
I'm like Babe Ruth at Wrigley Field, buddy. I'm pointing to the left field bleachers right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're going with a horse that's got some tactical speed, the 3 horse. You got an Irad and Brown combo there. Brown gets 24% with 46 plus days of rest. Well bet, but going off your track record, just toss that horse out of the whole mix. Yeah, and then the 7 horse is my 3rd choice here. One last time out. The 7 does have some speed, so look out. Could keep up. Totally fits with this group. And then the 5. I do actually see the 5 getting the lead because he's been off a year, and fresh horses just run their eyeballs out sometimes. And you got to keep them under control. Last time he did ran pretty much even. Sharp gets 14% with 90 plus days of rest, which we totally 100% has here. Got some solid works. Sharp is definitely a good trainer, but it's still kind of tough for a full year off.
I'm going to go with the 3 horse, Charles.
Well, of course.
Not the 1. See, I got the 1. I even got the 1 hat on. So
you just.
I'm just killing every omen in one chance I can, right? So I'm going to go with Stage Raider. It does have the most upside in the race. And sometimes the horse is brilliant early, and I mean brilliant, like stakes caliber early pace numbers. And then sometimes it's brilliant late. Again, takes caliber late pace numbers, but rarely puts the two of them together. If he runs one of those races where he puts the brilliant in the beginning and the end together, this race won't be close, Charles. The one horse will be way off in the sunset.
Blah, 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 blah.
Number one, Tonal Impact is the second choice. Was my first choice before. Did run the top last race. Speed figure following some killer 2 and 4 early pace, 2 and 4 furlong early pace improvement. This one's a Terry angle in here too, because the one horse got scratched. So Terry loves it when there is an entry and the trainer takes one out, because he feels like the trainer leaves the best one in there. The only thing for me, and this is another reason why I said, you know what, screw it, I'll go ahead and make the change there. Horse ran a peak number last time out, and pretty much every time the horse ran a peak number, it's regressed, not a lot, but a little, at least in the very next race. So I wouldn't be shocked at a little bit of a step backwards here. Uncle Moonlight, the 7-horse Belmont fan, 6 races, 3 wins and a third. That's a horse for the course when you consider that he's just got 1 win, 6 races elsewhere. Big fan of the distance too. Has 1 mile raced 7 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds and a third. Finally, Kinetic Sky, the 2-horse, does ride that high 24% winning rail. This one's making its first start after a layoff. Its record is pretty good first up. And another one that's a fan of the distance, in the money, 5 out of 6 with a couple of wins. Trifecta 1-3-7 over the 1-3, over the 1-2-3, 6 and 7. And our good friend Christopher D'Souza here, he says he likes $10, 7 to win, 7-6 exact the box in race number 8.
Yeah, as long as you don't have the 3, you're fine.
Probably. I think you should have the 1 based upon my tracker, because whatever one I switch off of is the one that actually comes through right at the end.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up with race number 9. This one's a pretty deep field, 12 horses, if I recall. And indeed, in the 7 furlong turf affair, maiden claiming 40 grand, the purse is 45. This one is, I think, a wide open race, Charles. We talked a little bit about 7 furlongs on the grass early on. Tactical speed does pretty good. You find that 6 of them go wire to 6% go wire to wire. Very strong inside 3 bias, 4 and out, play under par. All right, Charles, for the last time today, share with us the brilliance of our simulations.
Well, the 4, 93% chance. Is that like almost guaranteed going to lead?
I guess.
Maybe, it might be the 1, but you got a couple other horses that might be the scary type of speed. Don't actually watch out for the 12, to be honest with you, to try to get that lead. But simulation odds, you have the 1 at even money. Morning line is 2 to 1. And then you have the 8 even money, 4 to 1 morning line. So that's not a bad overlay. And that's what you have for overlays and odds.
Yeah, these maiden claiming types, that guy showed a little bit of speed and some of the others have kind of trailed. And you do see that setup here. The 3 and 11, they're going to take their tasks out there for the first time. The 10's just been awful, so he didn't really grade out. So, but he is a closer in there. The 2, the 7, the 9, those 3 have not been close within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line, at least in the races that they've put on the table so far. Got a trio of horses up here that want to be in the front. Everybody else towards the back, perhaps. We'll see how that all plays out. That could favor early speed. If that's the case, that 4-horse at Finney's Harbor, going to be on the front, does have a 4-point advantage over the 12. The 2 that you highlighted, Charles, is the ones that are likely to get to the front. The data says they should be 1-2 pilot, co-pilot at the quarter-mile marker. Daddy's Little Boss Lady. All of our daughters are like that in some respects, right? Yep. 86 points, 8 points better than everybody else. And it's by choice, folks. Not that they're bossy. It's just that, as we were told last night, the 15-month-old had Daddy wrapped around the finger. So make sure you watch that horse center. 8-horse, Daddy's Little Boss Lady does score out 6 points better than everybody else. Robin and Eli, so the 1 and the 8, well above everyone else. In fact, the 8-horse, 15 points over the 3rd place horse in there. So the 1 and the 8, those 2 do seem like they have the tactical race advantage in terms of their ability. We both think they should be factors in this spot.
Well, I think it's a 2-horse race. The 1 drops in class today. The rail gets 18%. Brown gets 30% when he takes him from a route to a sprint. And second start after a layoff, and Brown gets 29% with that angle. So kind of almost everything says the 1 is the play of the day.
Play of the day.
Well, maybe
another
not
one.
play of the day. The play of the 9th race. The 8, second choice. I think this horse has definitely got a shot too. Ran even last time. Tactical speed. I think he'll pretty much sit second or third. And this horse also drops in class today. The 5 adds Lasix today, drops in class. Trainer gets 15% and 90+ days of rest. And then the 2 horse, the horse ran even last time. Second start after a layoff, the trainer gets 16% with that angle. You get Pratt aboard, so that makes that horse a little dangerous. But I do think the 12 is going to get that lead and make this a really good contest and set it up for the 1 or the 8.
Scary Creation says, long shot alert, baby. Number 4, Finney's Harbor, 21 morning line. Get the Derby winning Javier Castellano, who I love on turf. Yes, indeed. Javier is a beast on turf. And actually, he'll be coming on Horse Center again sometime in July. So make sure that you follow us on our social sites. You see them scrolling down there. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race today on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hit the subscribe while you're here on YouTube. Hit the bell. When Javier comes on, or myself and Charles, myself and Terry, Jamie, Julie, and Sean, whoever's hosting the shows, you'll be notified. And when Javier comes on, you can ask him questions about winning the Derby, winning the Belmont. Hey, on 2 different horses. How about that, right? Has that happened before?
Yeah, I think it well, I don't know.
I have to look into that before he comes on. But number 1, Robin and Eli, missed by only a half a length in the only trip at this level. Charles, been facing much tougher horses, almost won like a New York Stallion, $150,000 non-graded stakes, just missed there. This group is nowhere near that caliber. Doesn't mean he's going to win, just means that he's faced off against tougher and held his own. Follow the Fed, probably very good investing advice, I would say. Should improve second off the bench. What I found interesting here is Flavian Pratt stayed on this horse. Daddy's Little Boss Lady, maiden special weight dropper after a decent effort at Gulfstream Park. And finally, Maggie missed by a nose at this level last out. So there's the Chris P. angle. Second by a nose. He says, yeah, you only had to beat 1 horse last time around. So if you can just beat 1 more today, that's the W there, one of his favorite angles. But what I like about this horse is our really good friend Trevor McCarthy is on a stalker. I think he does absolute wonderful work on stalkers because he always has race horse at the end. I think he'll have a horse at the end of this race, Charles. I don't think Trevor's going to push him forward because that's not really his style. 1, 2, 8, 12 to close out for me on the 50-cent trifecta box. Our entire picks for the day at Belmont look a little bit like this. First race is in the books. The 9 horse stole that race with the 1 getting a bad break. And then the 3 horse, the 6 horse ended up winning race number 2, defeating the 3 to 5 favorite who was looking around for some horses in the lane, which is never a good sign if you're betting on that horse. And then finally, if you like what you see, make sure you hit the thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube because it helps us with their algorithms. The better we score on the algorithms, the more people will find us when they're searching for horse racing. It's an easy way to help us. Like the 7, 97.85 C-zone and a closer. Yeah, indeed, that could be a good combination there. Another good combination is free picks, Charles. You can get some free picks today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It's a link down in the description below at Thistle Downs. I think we could have a good day over there based upon the way some of those horses graded out. Make sure you use the link down in the description below. If you're going to play some baseball picks today, head over to Picks with the Professor. You'll find that link down in the description below. Our good friend Jared said he hit a nice parlay yesterday using the Professor's picks. So maybe you can do like Jared, hit a nice parlay. And if you do, our good friends at Winning Touches, they have some great horse racing memorabilia, race attire. I like the socks. I'm going to get me some of those horse racing socks so I can be in trend, Charles. That wraps us up for the week, my friend. Do you have any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here?
No final thoughts. Everyone just stay safe like usual, and let's get some winners this whole weekend. And that's all I got.
Yeah, Monday I will be back with Terry. We're going to do Parks on Monday and Tuesday. Terry's already been after me for the data, so I got that off to him. No problem. And again, keep an eye out on our social sites as we will announce if we're going to do the Royal Ascot the night before or the day of. But Tom and I will be covering every single day. Looking forward to that. That's a lot of fun. Good bets, good horses. It's a great week of racing. I'd like to get there sometime and actually do that. Race 3 is so if the folks at Royal Ascot want an American presence, want us to come out there and kind of film stuff and throw it up on our social sites, yeah, kind of reach out to us. That'd be great. gtsrich@gmail.com or at HRT on Twitter. Well, race 3 is about to get cooking, Charles. So let's just stick around, call out race number 3, what's happening. Right now, that's Charles's best bet of the day. That's 7 horse, which is 5-2, Charles.
Yeah.
Which I think has got to be concerning, to be honest with you.
Concerning? Why would that be concerning?
Well, he's 2-1 morning line, so he's drifted upwards.
Yeah.
That would concern me a bit because the bettors on the track have said that they feel like the 8 horse is the better play. Right now is co-favorite at 5-2, though it is the highlighted most money on it.
They're betting Irad there.
Could be, yeah, not a bad idea. My 5 horse on the top there, Charles, 13-1. Come on, Mama, band me. Proved to be a wise maneuver with that horse. That's my top pick at 13. What? Sometimes I wonder, what am I thinking, Charles? Let's see. What did I like about that 5 horse? Go back and read my notes. Yeah, Trevor on the maiden claim riser off the top last race, speed figures, third race off a layoff with better fractions. I like all of those things. I also like 13-1. But I do hope that your $25 bet comes home first there, Charles.
I just had to put more money on it.
You did?
Yeah, put more money on it.
Good.
Why not?
I hope it comes home for you as a W. Number 3, they are. We suspect that the outside horses will get the lead, and they're off. And the 2 horse, they're really hustling that one out. Oregano. Jockey's trying to get that one to the lead, and he has done so. On the outside, the 6 horse, Spatero, the 6 horse, the one that Christopher D'Souza put his bet on. That one raced in, shot in between horses up to the front. You got a break of about a half a horse to the 4, the 1, and it looks like is that the 8 horse? Yes, the 8 horse to the outside. So Father Gatto, Ghostly Prince, and Good Rapport right there. The 3, the 5, the 9, and the 7 are all kind of trailing as they come through the opening quarter in I think a moderate 25-19. That strong C-zone score might work out for that 6 horse right about now. 4 horses still kind of trying to keep up, but looks like it's losing a little bit of its pace. The whole field is kind of tightening up a little bit. I'd say maybe 5 to 6 horses from front to back. The 6 on the lead. The 5, my 5, dead last. He's going to have to find something to get that 13-1, though I do like Trevor on horses that come from off the pace because I know he'll have horse left. They come around the corner. Indeed, Trevor is trying to make a move to go wide. It does look to me like the 9 horse is moving the best right now, Provision. As they come through, boy, a bunch of them are way wide, Charles. I think this is anybody's race as they come down the stretch. Here they come. I'm seeing that 7 horse starting to make a move, Charles. Here he comes. I'm glad you put a little bit more on him because I think he might be your winner. Although, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be close. Nope. It looks to me like it's that inside horse, and it's going to be 9.
Ooh,
9-7, I think.
That was a photo finish right there.
Nah, not even close. The 9 horse was a half a head ahead. He definitely was a winner.
Okay.
You want to put another 25 on that?
No, I'm not. I think it came close.
So. Not close.
All right.
What do you guys think? Was that a close or not close?
The 7 kept on coming at him. The wire was there for him out there right away.
I don't know. That 9 horse, the 9 horse, there you got that strong C-zone score right there too. And the good early pace numbers out there. Okay, I'm going to take another look at this. Maybe I looked at it before they hit the wire.
You might have, but
that 6 horse ran a really good race though too, man, up on the front.
Yeah, the 6 ran a really good race. Actually,
let's see. Let me look here. No, the 9 horse right now is definitely at least a half a head ahead. It could be close at the wire, Charles.
A lot closer than you thought, huh?
Yeah, I do still think the 9 horse got him though.
I'm going to probably have to agree, but boy.
But the camera usually favors the inside. Yeah, and they're showing the 9 horse on the screen right now. So, yep, right now they got 9 provision, 7 and 6. 9, 7, 6 and 1. 9, 7, 6 and 1.
Oh.
So that kills our pick 4s there, Charles.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, my 7 gave it a hell of a try.
He sure did at 5-2. The 8 horse didn't even show up. All right, folks, that wraps it up for today. No matter what you're doing for the rest of the day, be it at Belmont Park, one of our plays, the 9 horse, JT Brew. Fantastic. I bet the 9 horse as well. That last jump made it close. Yeah, but he got it as I thought live that he won. And on the slow down replay, and then, of course, the photo does take that out. Thank you, Scary. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's input. It's again, we appreciate your time talking with you, conversing, and also helps us with the algorithm. So we appreciate that. We hope you all have a fantastic weekend, no matter what you're doing. You got God's grace, God's favor. Every single thing you do until we meet up again, Charles, can only end in one place. That place can only be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it. We'll see you on Monday.
See ya.